Okay, like not too bad though. Hey everyone, I am back in a closet, and this video is going to be a little different because I'm going to be talking about my diagnosis story, as you can tell by the title of this video, while doing my makeup. You can see the mirror in the background, but I'm taking my glasses off later on the video, so it'll be okay. I just wanted to talk about my diagnosis while I'm doing something fun. I'm a very much so beginner at makeup, so this gives me a good opportunity to practice some more. My plan is to do a like T1D inspired look, so I'm going to be using like a Cinderella-esque look, if you will. It's kind of what I have planned is kind of what reminds me of like what the look reminds me of. So please just be warned, the eyeliner is going to probably look absolutely horrific, but I wanted to share my journey with you guys while I'm doing something fun. So let's get started. So now that I'm all primed up, I'm going to be using this brush set that my mom got me from Amazon. It just has like a silver base and it's really soft, so if you guys are interested, just comment and I'll ask my mom exactly like what link she used. But I'm going to, if I can find it, I can't see it far from my glasses. This brush to do my brows first, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I use just an e.l.f. pomade, so I'll do that off camera as well. Okay, brows are kind of done, and I'm going to go ahead and get started on my eyes and tell you guys a little bit about my life before my diagnosis. So I guess it really all started around August 2015. Around this time is when I started to do my first year of marching band. So that's when I started to see an increase in weight loss and me really craving water and just my appetite like increasing, but still, you know, like not really having any weight. And because I was in marching band, like none of that was really super duper concerning, because we just basically, you know, said, oh well, she's losing all of this weight because of marching band, or oh, you know, like it's just she's growing, she's going through changes, she's only 15. So we never made anything of it, you know, like who really would, considering what I was doing. So I go to my primary physician, you know, for like your annual school checkup, and they like check my blood sugar, but you know, like they do that with like everyone when they check your iron, so they prick your finger and they notice that it's slightly elevated, but they're like, well, you know, we're just gonna monitor things, you know. So we went about our way, and I had school probably it was like 3 weeks before school started is when I got my when I visited the doctor. So as time went on, I still lost a lot of weight. We weren't really concerned. I got, I guess, some mood swings, or I guess it wasn't really mood swings. I was just always really like sad and very fatigued, and I had no reason behind it, but I kind of channeled those things into, like, you know, what every average 15-year-old girl that loves One Direction does. And I wrote stories, fan fiction, about One Direction, and I fell in love with Ed Sheeran's music, so all that stuff, you know, I kind of just kept to myself because I didn't really know what to do with all that emotion, and I guess I pretty much handled it in the best way I knew how. So a few weeks into school, I get sick for a couple days, and my mom has this rule where if you miss X amount of days, you go to the doctor. You know, that typical rule some parents have. And so my mom set up an appointment for me to go see my primary physician. So finally appointment day comes along, and my mom is admitted to our local hospital emergency room because of her kidney stones. So my dad is the one to take me to my primary physician's appointment. So we get to my primary physician's office and we do the whole check-in process thing. And I'm telling my doctor like how I'm feeling and stuff like that. And one of the first things I think they really noticed, because I remember having a conversation with the person that like the nurse or whomever about it, was my really rapid weight loss. And I was loving it, you know, because I was so like, wow, like look, I lost all this amount of weight, and I was like 3-4 weeks ago, like isn't this great? And they were like, yeah, we'll see, you know. So we kind of just moved on from that. Obviously got into the room, I started talking to her, and so they pricked my finger again and they had me pee in a cup. And what I know now is like, you know, check for ketones and stuff like that. So when I got back from the bathroom, my dad was in the room, and one thing I really remember was that he was cracking really hard to handle jokes, and I think that was just his way of like trying to calm me down, because when I came in the room, like back to the room, I could kind of feel like there was a whole mood shift, and I tried to like really like not pay attention to it because I was in denial from then on. I was so in denial for a really long time. So my eyeliner I'm gonna do off camera because it's gonna take me a second, so I'll be right back. Okay, so they're not the best, but I have done way worse before, so I'm pretty proud of it. And this is my first time really using this kind of beauty group, this kind of makeup eyeliner like tip, so I'm really proud of that actually, because I usually just use gel and it doesn't come out as fine, as you guys probably know, so I'm really happy about that. Now I'm gonna move on to my face and tell you guys more about when I found out I was going to the hospital, and basically before I was diagnosed, like the day of. What I like to do is I put the foundation on a brush first and then go in with a sponge. So like I said, please ignore me. So the doctor comes back in and informs my dad and I, or well, my dad probably already knew based on like how he was reacting and such, but that I needed to stay overnight at possibly overnight at the hospital, because at this point they didn't really know that I had diabetes. They were just, you know, sending me to hospital for testing. And like I said, I was super in denial, so the first thing I asked was, is there a chance that I could be released tonight, because I have a football game that I am part of and it's for a grade. And my doctor was like, I don't think so, but you never know, so we're just gonna send you to the hospital because we'd rather be safe than sorry, like your health comes before anything else. And so my dad and I made our way over to WakeMed Children's Hospital, and now I'm using concealer and a sponge. So we make our way to WakeMed Children's Hospital, and I fall asleep on the ride there, just because I was so exhausted. When I'm finally admitted, my mom calls my dad, or my dad called my mom to let her know that like I'm in the hospital and stuff like that. And then my mom comes to the hospital as if nothing ever happened, like as if she was never admitted to the hospital herself for her kidney stones. She just comes to the hospital and she's ready for me, you know, just like to go through whatever I'm going through. And I remember the first thing that she told me was like, whatever you're here for, we're here with you. Like, you're not alone. We're here, you know, to fight everything with you. And I didn't understand, like the whole time I was like, there's no reason for everyone being like, oh, you're not alone. Like, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. Everyone's just overreacting. Like, I feel fine. I feel great. Like, I have to go to this football game tonight. I'm gonna set my face and add some blush off camera, but I'm using this and then this palette for blush and highlight. Okay, so you can't really tell. I don't know if you can or you can't, but I did. I added blush and I set. So I'm going to just move on with my lashes. I'm applying these lashes and just using some e.l.f. clear mascara. I'll talk about my diagnosis after I curl my lashes and apply the mascara. So we're pretty much reaching like the end of my diagnosis journey because after I was admitted and my mom showed up, it was pretty straightforward. They finished running whatever tests they needed to run, and then a doctor came in and was like, hey, your life's about to change because you've got type 1 diabetes. Not exactly like that, but like I've been saying, I was very, very in denial. I just kept, you know, like thinking like, oh, my life's gonna go back to normal after I go home. Like, I'm fine. There's no reason for all the hoopla. Nothing's changed. I just happened to be in the hospital for a couple days, you know? And I think back on that now, and I wish I took it a little more seriously because maybe then it wouldn't have hit me as hard later on as it, you know, as it did. One thing I do remember, I guess like one time like it really did kind of hit me was when I kind of like experienced my first like real, because of course you have symptoms before you're diagnosed sometimes, but my real midnight high. So like at 3 o'clock in the morning, each time I was there, the nurses would come in and check my blood sugar, and I remember shaking really bad, but like I made nothing of it because I was like, maybe I'm just cold, even though like I knew I wasn't cold, and I was just shivering and I felt absolutely horrible. Like I was awake, I couldn't stay asleep, and I had to use the bathroom. And these were all things that I experienced before my diagnosis that I never really thought much of. I guess really until then. It was just different. I was like, okay, maybe these things are starting to make a lot more sense now. But I'm very grateful for the emotional journey that I went through for 3.5 to 4 years when I was in a big rut and still kind of in denial and didn't really take diabetes as seriously as I do now. But that's probably a whole nother video that I can go on and on about. So I'm going to apply these lashes and a little bit of lip color, and that's pretty much the look. Okay, and this is pretty much the completed product. I always have one lash look better than the other, but it's okay. We're here, we're learning. And then I applied this ColourPop lip tint to my lips, and that's pretty much the video. Thank you guys for joining me in this once again journey down memory lane. If you guys have any other type 1 diabetes related questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and I'd be glad to make another video in regards to anything type 1 diabetes related. And so yeah, enjoy this next couple clips of me flexing my hard work, and stay home, wash your hands, create, and I'll see you guys in the next one.